Hi. Hello there. Um, do let me know if you can see me and hear me okay. Uh, I'm looking for your messages to see that I'm actually on live and you can hear me. Hi. Hey. Yay! We're here. We're doing it. Yay! Okay, I have no idea how to read these messages. They're going by so quickly, but I think I can scroll back and look at them. So I am going to go, I will look through your messages here and I will answer some of your questions. I'll just pick some at random. Uh, Ruth, keeping up with the chat. So here I am, keeping up with the chat. Hi there, Caitlin. Hi there, cat lady. Hi, Juliana. Who's effulgent? Hi, Tori. Okay, so this is my first ever stageit. Thank you so much for joining me. It's really weird because I thought it'd be more like a Zoom where I could maybe hear something back, and that's obviously not going to be the way it works. I'm just going to have to talk and trust that it all makes sense. Thank you so much for coming today. I really by Tuesday, I really wasn't sure if I could go ahead and do the show because I had such silly ideas and just light-hearted, fun ideas in mind. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but just with everything that was going on, I didn't feel personally up to it, that I could do it. And then with us being quieter and amplifying more of the melanated voices, I actually ended up following an astrologer on Twitter called the People's Oracle. I just reposted her on Twitter. And I watched a video of her that day, and she was so full of energy and positivity about everything that's going on and the way that everything can be moved forward in a good way, that we've reached a tipping point. And I thought, that feels like felt like a healthier attitude, that we need to keep supporting each other and lifting each other up and moving forwards, adding in what we can contribute as we go, in the most mindful way possible. So I do have my shoes on. I had to get a new pair of tap shoes because I've not actually tap danced in probably about 20 odd years. And they say it's like riding a bike. When I hadn't ridden a bike for 20 years and I got on a bike, it was quite hard. And so I'm a little bit rusty. Turns out it's not like riding a bike, but neither is riding a bike. So I have made up a little dance, which I'm going to try to kind of teach you. So anybody watching, in fact, let me see on the chat, just maybe like wave or put a hand up if you are going to try and tap or learn it or whatever, because I can, direct it more that way. Yeah, and so in doing today, in order to be mindful, I always knew something about the origins of tap. I always knew there was something to do with Irish dancing in there and African dancing. And I urge you, I'm going to maybe add some links to the bottom of the chat today. And, there's an amazing article from the Library of Congress, some really cool information out there. Some of the origins of tap might go back to as early as like the 1600s, and even like Cromwell might be implicated because he shipped 40,000 Celts off to the West Indies, and cultures started mixing way back then. Now there are different styles and types of tap dancing, and I grew up in Scotland doing kind of a more British tap, which is a bit more like the kind of Broadway American tap, which is not the same as a kind of Bojangles musical, more African American tap. So it's kind of fascinating how these things have all evolved. And what's really cool is right now, I think Beyonce retweeted them. We've got some real fabulous lady tap dancers called the Syncopated Ladies, I think they're called. Hope I've said that correctly. I just watched their video, they're amazing. And back in the day, one of the things I did learn was that tap was seen to be more for men because it's so energetic and takes such strength and you got to really hit the beats and everything. So actually, women weren't seen as being able to be as good at tap as men. So, let's see about that. One of the origins of tap, especially in America in the South, was on the plantations when the drums and musical instruments and percussive instruments were taken away from slaves, and so they would start to communicate and percuss with their feet. And how terrible that happened, and how inventive and amazing that an art form has been created out of that. So the kind of little dance I'm going to do today, I am bearing in mind the musicality because that's really important in the more African style of tap dancing. Is the music, the music, the music. When you mix in some of the more Irish style, the more kind of body up style, and even the British, I think some of the English clog dancing was mixed in there too. There's a more upright top half, and you think of maybe more like Fred Astaire or Gene Kelly with a bit of Bojangles. So there's a lot of really cool history there, and I love that this is a dance that has come out of oppression and into something that is absolutely owned right now by artists of colour and artists all over the world, everywhere. So that's my bit. That's my little bit of history that I wanted to kind of plug in there. How are you all doing? That makes sense. Hi from Germany. Nice shirt. Oh yeah. So the star prize today. I'm going to do a Skype with the top bidder, and I think with the second bidder. The top bidder is going to get literally the shirt off my back, and you can let me know in the Skype if you want me to wash it or not. You might well do after I try and dance around for a short while being as fit as I am. Yeah, the second prize, I've got a box of supernatural goodies just over there, and the second prize person is going to pick one of the goodies. And the third prize person, I'm going to pick something and send it to you. And then there's a certain level, I don't understand the numbers, but if you tip over a certain amount, I will do a single angel tarot something card reading for you. So that being said, yes, my blue light glasses, exactly, protecting my eyes from the blue light. That being said, I am going to start, maybe stand up, get my feet. After I play you the song I'm going to dance to. Now, who can guess what song I'm going to dance to, or what's going to happen? Can anyone guess? Let me see. Hi from Moscow, hi. Thanks, Josephine Neville, officially Chris. Oh, I love you too. I'm not getting very many guesses, but I no expense was spared today. No expense was spared at all in preparing this original composition. See if you can recognize the voice. You ready? No, it's not Throw Your Granny Off the Bus. And tell me if it's too loud or loud enough. Let me know. Hey, tap dancing. Hey, tap dancing. Oh, hey, tap dancing. Hey, tap dancing. Okay, you get the gist. The lyric is, hey, we're tap dancing, which is an incredible lyric from the mind of Rob Benedict. And actually, we have a special guest today, I think. Vivian, Rob's mum, might be watching and listening. It's a surprise for you, this new song called Hey We're Tap Dancing, with the lyric all the way through, Hey We're Tap Dancing. Uh, it's a nice 4/4. One thing I learned about myself with tap is I'm not particularly musical, but I really know music. I understand musical tempo because of the tap that I've done. So it's a 4/4 for anyone that's interested. Yeah, in an original song, and I'm going to get up, and it's one of his best, some of his best work. I'm going to get up now. It's a little too loud, Donna. Okay, I'll move it back. I'll move it back, and you can keep telling me. In my tap, I'm doing it in the kitchen because that seemed to be the best acoustic, and also because I practiced there, I already half ruined the floor there, and so I thought I may as well just, tip for tap, kitchen tap in the kitchen on the floor that's all scratched now. Anyway, okay, I'm dithering, haven't I? I'm procrastinating getting up. I've thrown a tiny little bit of Fosse in, just because I love Fosse. I don't know if any of you saw the show Fosse Verdon, which was really cool. But there's a tiny little bit of Fosse in there. Yes, R.I.P. Ruth's Floor. Okay, I've got to get up now, don't I? I've got to get up and do it. Are you ready? Let's do this. Okay, so I'm going to try and do the counts and stuff. Bear with me, it might not all make sense. If you have any questions, just ask me, and I'll attempt to answer them. I haven't tap danced in my glasses before. I don't know if they fly off or not, but I'm not going to find out today. Okay, so you can all see me okay? I think we're going to start off, I'll just do the counts. We're going to start off with the 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the Fosse bit, and then a heel, heel, other heel, right heel. So like a 1, 2, does that make sense? One more time. 1, 2. And what you're doing is you're kind of sliding your heels in. You want a nice solid beat in your heel. We're doing it nice and slow so we can really kind of hear all the taps and the rhythm. So I'm going to do this little bit, and then I'm going to go to the next bit. So I'm going to do this little bit with music. Okay. Please let me know you can hear it okay from here. Okay. I'm glad you can't see anyone else. Oh, is it buffering? I hope it's moving now. Let me know. We can hear you. Keep going. Okay, so that's the intro. And now I'm going to do what shall I call it? A hop, tap, step, heel, heel, brush. To my right, your left. Hop, tap, step, heel, heel, brush. To the left. So it's like a kind of like a so whatever that timing is, somebody else work out. I can't work those counts out. But we're going to go. Does that make sense? Maybe not. So we're going to put those two bits together. Bum, bum, da, 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 da. Okay. And the idea often with tap is a bit of a light and shade. We'll see if we can incorporate that a bit more. That helps. It's easier to do when you're more limber than I am now. Your ankles are more supple maybe than mine are right now. Yeah, so musicality we're going for with is a little bit like da-dum, da-da-dum, and like there's a breath. If you breathe in, ba-rum-ba-ba-bum, ba-rum-ba-ba-bum. The breath helps you, and it helps you with the lift and the fall, the lift and the fall. Okay, we'll do that bit together. Is everyone up to speed so far? Okay. Da-da. And give it a bit of sass at the beginning, like a bit of a pop, pop, can give it a little bit of hip, hip. Style is always good. If you can hear me from back here, style is always good, especially if you're not hitting all the beats. Style helps. It's very distracting. It's awesome. Da, 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 da. You can add arms in here if you want. You don't have to. So we're going to go to the next bit. The most important thing is though the breath. So now we're going to do a nice slow step, and we're really sinking into the music here. As we do this, we do simple step on our right leg diagonally down. Da da. Tap toe on our left heel. Tap toe heel. Very, very simple. Da 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 da. Very slow and simple. So we've got the da 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 da. Okay? And then I need to play the music again because sometimes I forget what the next step is if I can't hear the music. Holy moly. Sass brings everything. That's right, Kaylin. Okay. Okay. You ready? Is anybody doing it? Anybody who's doing this at home with me, wave. And I'll send you a tip. Okay. Okay? I think I did an extra one there that I haven't quite said. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I did. There's three. There's heel da 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 da. So there's three of those. Da 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 da. Okay? And now we're going to go back the way. One of my favourite steps. We're going to step back on our left and brush this one across and take this one across and do the crisscross. Has anyone done that step before? The crisscross going backwards? The spin is easiest with the music on for sure. I'm at the office and my co-worker doesn't get to see this. Aww. Thanks, Mallory. I'm glad you're tapping along. Okay, I'm going to keep going. So we've done the drop, bum, da 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 da. We're going to go back this way. And step, criss, cross, and then as many little back pickups as we can fit in time to music. I haven't counted how many fit. You just do as many as you can. That makes sense? These back heel, step, brush, heel, step, brush, heel, step, brush, heel, step, brush, heel. It's actually a really simple step. It just becomes cool the faster you can do it. Step, brush, heel, step, brush, heel, step, brush, heel, step, brush, heel. And the clearer you can get it, the better. Don't do as I do, do as I say, right? That's it. Okay, right. Once more with feeling with the music. We're nearly halfway through. We're nearly halfway. Heel, 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 go. One and a two and a three and a four. Criss, cross. As many as you can. Okay, we're nearly halfway there. It's only 45 seconds, the whole thing. So this next step, I really love the name of the step. It's called a progressive tap because you progress. And yeah, that's a cool thing to do. Right, so from the back corner, we're going to go, we've done the crisscross, step, the same step, step, brush, step, step, brush. It's the same step. Do the two big crisscrosses ones and then as many of the small ones. Progressive tap the right leg. Da 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 heel. Da 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 heel. So it is brush, forward tap, and then just when you think you've done enough, you progress a little bit more. Does that make sense? So it's a cool one in that your weight, often in tap, your weight's forwards. But at this point, we can do a little bit of like a stylish kind of lean back. Da, 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 and lead with our hips a little bit, just for a bit of a change, a bit of a nuance. Okay, so progressive. Da, 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 dum. Da, 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 dum. Now this next bit, you can see how my brain works. We've got the breath bit, we've got the slow bit, we've got the crisscross, the fast bit, the progressive bit. I think in chunks and funny names and titles, and sometimes it sticks. This next bit is called the Spanish section. And what's really cool with tap nowadays, now that it's having a resurgence, having kind of been a bit suppressed with some of the more Broadway tap, now that kind of traditional tap is coming through a bit more now, we've also got lots of flamenco and Cuban dancers, which are again very rhythmically based and different but similar. And some of these rhythms and styles are being incorporated into the dance now too. So this is the Spanish section, and it's just really fun, and I think you'll recognize the rhythm when I do it. So we do crossover, heel, step, step, heel, step, step, step. And you can see it looks a little bit Spanishy, a little bit matador-y. So, and you can put your hands on your hips, cross over, heel, step, step, heel, step, step. Da, 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 da. Does that make sense? Da, 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 da. Okay? And it's kind of like, the more kind of flamenco you can think as you do it, da, 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 dum, bum, the better. And then we're going to do a drop shuffle turn. So we're doing like different directions, and that's kind of important too. A lot of the Irish stuff is more directionally oriented, wherein you'll see the Irish dancers and they go from one corner to another corner, and where they're facing is very important, as opposed to the American, which is more just kind of like here and conversational. And I think with the kind of more Broadway style, obviously using the space, using the stage is important, and it makes it more like jazz ballet, because tap is a form of jazz. Some amazing American tap dancers they're musicians with their feet. Yeah, so we're going to go Spanish, and then a drop shuffle change to down the way, and then I'm going to do something to get me back up in that corner, and I haven't thought of a name for that step yet, so maybe I'll just make it up as we go. Okay, so we've done the big crisscross up to this corner, progressive tap down here, Spanish, okay, drop, shuffle, pick up, step, step, I don't know, we'll call that the corner move, and then we're just going to do a nice simple, you can either do a half spin or a 1.5, depending on how dizzy you get. So when I'm rehearsing, I might just do half. When I actually come to doing the whole dance, I might do 1.5, depending if I'm feeling confident or depending on how slippy the floor is feeling. So we're going to do a step turn to this corner, step, and we're going to give it a snap of the right hand for a bit of sass. Just checking you're all keeping up. Up. Oh, I'm doing this with all of you in my mind, Elizabeth Thomas. I had spine surgery earlier this week. I think my doctor would approve of imaginary tapping for me. I think that's amazing, Elizabeth. And it's proven that just by thinking of dancing and thinking of the steps, that different neurology is activated. So you are actually doing something, just imagining it. No shoes but trying. Thank you, Ella. Oh, effulgent. Ruth, my mum is Ruth too and has COVID pneumonia. Aww. Please give her my best. I mean, COVID, with everything that's going on, I mean, I know some of you are in Europe just now. Gosh, it's like so many things. Please imagine us all doing well. Yeah, you are. Aw, thanks, Vivian. Okay, I'm going to try, before I do the end bit, which is actually the hardest bit, I saved the hardest bit for the end, like I'm going to do one of my favourite steps. I call it a flying wing. I have no idea if that's what it's called, but I'm going to call it a flying wing. But before we get to the flying wing, which is like a big finish, a couple of turns at the end before the big finish, I'm just going to recap. I'm going to recap everything that's been done so far. Thanks! These pants I got years ago for going to one of my first conventions, Asylum, the very first Asylum did, my first UK convention. I got these pants. And then just recently, because we have all been inside with COVID, I've been tidying out my wardrobes, and it's like I've got lots of new clothes, just basically clothes I forgot I had. Okay, back to the beginning. With or without music? With or without music? Okay, with the music. Okay. Ready? Ba-dum. Pew, 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 pew. Crisscross. Fast. Spanish. Turn. Okay? Hey. You will be singing this tune for the rest of your natural lives. You realise this song gets burned into your brain and never leaves. So we're nearly here for the big, big finish, okay? Which is step, brush, flying wing this way. So you do the wing, you brush into mid-air with your left leg, and you wing on your right foot. It's really hard to do slowly, and there's a bit of a split in your leg as you do it. So you do a step, and you kind of take off, and you're in mid-air, and as you're in mid-air, you wing with your right foot. It's not easy. It's not easy to do slow anyway, it's easier faster. So we go step. See, I missed a beat. I've got to go back now and do it again so I don't miss the beat. Okay, ready? You hear it? And then we keep turning. We're doing 2 more big turns. We've done 2 flying wings to the bottom left, and we're going to go to our right now. Stamp, shuffle, pick up. Turn, again, stamp, shuffle, pick up, turn. And then we're going to spin back the way we came with our arms in time to say tap, when Rob says tap at the end of the song. So I'm going to play it for you. I'm going to mark it through and try and tie the end in as well. I see we've got 2 minutes, but I think there's an encore. I think there is an encore situation, yeah? Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fall, fall. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Crisscross. And back. Fast as you can. Progressive. Spanish. Drop to the corner. Turn to the top corner. Step, wing, step, wing, turn, land. Right. So you see what I mean by the end. You see what I mean by the big end. Tap. And what I think I might do, I think I have to, let's add a split. You do the split. I think when this, I think, yeah. Okay. I'm going to keep going and I'm going to answer some of your questions as well. Right, such a grand ending, yeah. I'm going to try and do it as an encore. Now that we've kind of gone through all the steps, I'm pink in the encore. I am going to go through the whole thing and try. Yes, I need physical therapy after doing the splits now too. Asia. Okay, one more time with feeling. And I'm going to try and leave the phone here so you can hear the music and do the whole dance. And I nearly forgot the Spanish bit there in case you didn't notice. I nearly did. But I'm going to try and remember all the way through. And yeah, we'll have a chat after that. Okay, wish me luck. Right, I'm going to just press this and find my place. So I got a little bit dizzy at the end. That's what happens. Got a little bit dizzy, kind of turning in on myself in the kitchen. But we're nearly there. Good, I'm glad your cat looked at you like you were a goofball. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go back up and answer some of the questions from before. SPM petition for tap lessons with Ruth. I'm not sure. I don't know. Quarantine tap lessons, maybe. I played soccer all my life. My legs, feet don't do this. You know something, Asia? My dad was a footballer, soccer coach, and he would see me doing my tap or ballet lessons when I was little. And a lot of footballers, I think the Falkirk team, they do yoga, they do some ballet. And the thing about tap is, you really do have to loosen your ankles, which can be useful for footballers because if your ankles are too stiff and you get a knock, they snap, right? So there's benefits to mixing them both up, but I do get it. It's a different set of muscles and thought patterns. Okay, if anybody else has any other questions, I think we've got a couple of minutes left. And yeah, favorite type of tap. You know, now that I've just done a bit of research this week, I never think of myself as that musical as I said, and I really I think when you see the you know the people going and they're kind of talking with their feet, the real real old style American tap. I think there's something remarkable about it. I grew up more on the Fred Astaire stuff, but now that I listen, I go, wow, there's something really incredible, and I can't do that yet. The other thing to say is I came to tap quite late. Yeah, when I was about 15 or 16, I tried to do it properly for the first time, and I was in a class full of 11 and 12-year-olds who all danced rings around me. So just to say to you, if you're watching, it's a really good way to keep fit, and it's never too late to start. And you can go from zero to being able to move pretty well and really do a couple of steps in not too long a time. That's the other thing, it's accessible. You see people of all ages tap dancing. And actually, the older you get and the more relaxed you get and the more you can just lean into your own thing, a lot of the cool stuff about tap is that it's improvisational. And you have to kind of make up your own steps a little bit and take it from there. So it's really creative as well. Drink water. I am. Thank you, Ella. I shall look on Twitter for that video. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you for joining me. Click to scroll down. I'm scrolling down. You're a fire. Can you go? Have you ever gone on point? Yes. Tap off between Ruth and Jensen. I know, I was so jealous. It was DJ and Jensen got to do the old time tap dance in Supernatural. That was cool. But I did get to do a tango. I think it was last season, 14 maybe. Somebody else tell me. I did get to do a tango, and that was awesome fun. And again, some of the cool rhythms in tango was important. I tried in my 30s at the YMCA. Good for you, Judy. I always wondered how it was to play Rowena's Trauma and Funerale in Ouroboros. Was that difficult for you to do? You know, it's always really, Kayla, it's always really exciting as an actor to have something to really get your teeth into, something with a real bit of emotional content. I find it's exciting and it's challenging, and usually on the day, it's all the technical stuff that's getting in the way, like remembering to stand with your weight in your right leg and look out your left eye towards somebody who's across on a camera or whatever is going on. So it's usually the technical stuff that's difficult, rather than the being afraid of the content of the scene. I'm just sometimes afraid like I'm not going to hit it enough, and I really want to serve that stuff up really well. But it's great when you're given that stuff to do. Yes, I would teach you tap at one of the cons. Ellie, so you tapped 30 years ago. Honestly, it's 20 years since I tap dance. So never too late. Pick them up. Pick them up. Hi, Naya. Fan of Zumba. You know, I've never done Zumba because I'm too lazy. It looks like really cardiovascular and I'm too lazy. Good for you if you all do it though. Does anybody want me to do any particular steps or anything like that before we go? I'm happy to do that too. If anybody has any particular steps they want to see. No, I haven't seen the episode of Psych with Tim Wilmington tapping. I'd love to see that. I didn't know. I mean, I'm not surprised, but I'd love to see that. What have you discovered about yourself during quarantine? I don't know. Like, I think that some of the life lessons that we've all been learning, I feel like I sometimes learn the same things over and over again. It's interesting when you've got nowhere to kind of to run or hide with your feelings or your intensity or whatever it is you're dealing with. You can't, you know, you've not got something over the other side of town or a convention to go to or something to keep you busy, and you're going to kind of sit with yourself. So it's more that I kind of see some of the stuff I know already. I see it more clearly, and I do think that structure is important. I am an artist and I don't like having to do the same thing all the time, but I realize if I don't make an appointment with myself, I don't know, the hours just while away, don't they? Do you know the Brazilian samba? I've done a little bit of samba. When I did my tap exams, I was doing modern exams and we did a little bit of samba, like a little bit. And it's really energetic and hard and fun and awesome. Thanks, Sharks and Swain. Thanks for watching. Have you ever thought about picking up a musical instrument? Yes, I have. I think piano would probably be my thing. I did pick up a guitar I was doing a show, a theatre show, and I had an hour off. In like, by the time I left in the first act and come back in the second act, in the interval, there was almost an hour, and so I learned to play Hey Jude on the guitar. But then I didn't keep going, and I'm super jealous of all the musicians that I work with. It's so amazing to have any instrument that you can pick up. Would you ever do a project with Jessica Chastain? I'd cut off my right tap shoe to work with Jessica Chastain. I have seen White Nights with Mikhail Baryshnikov, and I thought it was amazing. And I love The Turning Point as well. If you like White Nights, you should watch the Turning Point. What's the most difficult dance for you? No, I wish I had taught Jensen. No. The hardest dance, you know, when I tried to do a little bit of flamenco a few years ago. I've got to wrap it up. I'm being told I stage it to wrap it up. Um, it was tricky because it was a different the beats in this that were in a different place, and your weight was in a different place, and everything seems difficult till you kind of get muscle memory and become more familiar. What's your favourite thing about Scottish culture that you miss in the USA? I always say this cheekily, but I miss square sausage. I miss the banter. I do. There is. Um, I remember when I'd been in America for a couple of years, going back, and I was going back for the Edinburgh Festival, and my friend Karen Martin and her husband Jordan Young, I've just met them early on in the festival, and I said something, and Jordan just kind of looked at me and went, "Aye, is that right, Ruth? Aye." And I just miss that kind of like down to earthness. I miss that. I miss that dose of Scottishness where everyone kind of um, keeps their feet in the ground. I miss that a little bit. Um, yeah, I'm gonna probably go in the next few minutes. So thank you so much. Um, if you would like me, do you listen to Paul Corelli? Yeah, I actually didn't know, Josephine, that his show was on at a similar time, and I messaged him. And I think what we'll do is, if I do this again, you need to let me know if you want me to do something like this again. Maybe we'll do a different dance to the same song, maybe an easier dance, or or a more difficult dance. So you let me know. But what I'll do is I'll do it after Paul's show. I'll do it at 1 o'clock, so you can watch Paul and then um, come to me. Thank you very much again. If there's no more questions, I'll sign off and let you enjoy the rest of your evenings and your afternoons. Um, Thank you so much. Bye for now. Oh, Ruth, I want to start acting school. Acting after high school. Any advice? Do as much as you can now. Get as much experience as you can now. Do your school show. Do a local community show. Get as much experience as you can all the time. Okay, bye. Bye bye. Bali. Okay, we'll see about that.